We cannot learn to be emotionally mature inside the river of cruelty. We need somebody to guide us, to coach us, to help us, to mentor us. Hey everybody, Steve Halley here with the Family Peace Initiative, and welcome to the February edition of the Facilitators Tool Chest vlog. Every month I try to put something out. If you're interested in ideas to help your facilitation of groups, your facilitation of battery intervention programs, if you're interested in getting better, hit the subscribe button down below of this video. We've been putting these videos out for over 8 years now, and I think there's some information here that might be useful to you as you go about working to end cruelty in relationships or help people recover and get out of the river of cruelty. Today I want to talk with you about the essential driver of the river of cruelty. Alice Miller, in her prolific writings, talked about how people are born perfect. People are born, and what she was meaning was people are born with the ability to express their feelings wide open. Right? If they were sad when you were a baby, when you're sad, you could tell the world you were sad. When you were mad or hungry or tired or sick, whatever it would be, you were able to tell the world, whether you were in church or in the comforts of your own home, you could tell the world, I have a need and I need somebody to tend to it for me, right? Babies have the ability to do that, wide open, and it's pretty impressive when we start noticing how quickly we all learn how certain feelings are not okay, certain feelings shouldn't be acknowledged. It was okay to express some feelings in certain situations and not in others. It's kind of confusing. It's a complicated science. And we have to learn all these rules about how to manage our emotional selves. Many of us are told, you stop your crying or I'll give you something to cry about. If you don't be afraid or you'll be a big sissy, and you don't want to be soft or weak. Many of us get these messages repeatedly starting at very early ages, and we take them to heart, right? We think, oh, I can't let anyone see us be weak. I can't let anyone see me be soft. I can't let anyone see me crying. Something bad will happen. They will think something less of me. They might take advantage of me or hurt me. There's all kinds of possibilities. And so we learn how to restrict our emotional expression, and the river of cruelty flows at that point. Because one of the big strategies, when I'm feeling something that I don't want to feel, for example, when I'm afraid because my son in his teenage years doesn't come home when I expected him to be home, when he said he would be home, and he's not answering his phone, and I get more and more afraid. So he finally comes in the door, an hour or two later, and the first thing I do is I storm over there and I yell at him and say, "Where have you been?" And I'm trying to pass on my fear to him. I raise my voice, I get in his space, I am angry, and he gets afraid, right? And I successfully passed on my fear to him, which in some way manages my own adverse feelings. And it's evidence of my own emotional immaturity. It's evidence that I don't know how to manage my own emotional self. And so what I have to do is try to give my feelings away to others. Domestic violence, it's a common way to pass cruelty on, right? If somebody's feeling weak, then I don't want to feel weak, so here, let me make you feel weak. If someone's feeling afraid, I don't want to feel afraid, so let me make you feel afraid. If someone's feeling their shadow message, if I'm stupid, I'm worthless, I'm nothing, I'm no good, if I don't know how to feel those things, one of the easiest ways to get at least temporary psychological relief is to give the feeling away to those around us. And that's how the river of cruelty flows. I'm convinced that the river of cruelty flows because of our inability to manage our own emotional selves. If I'm afraid, and I can sit with being afraid, even though it's not a comfortable feeling, I recognize that I'm afraid, then I don't have to give it away to somebody else. If I feel weak, if I feel soft, if I feel inferior, I don't have to give it away to somebody else just because I'm feeling that. Because if I'm emotionally mature, I'm able to recognize and go, there's that feeling that I really don't like to have. It's here. We're going to have to sit with it and watch it and manage it and maybe talk about it and let it pass. Because feelings do that. They pass, just like clouds in the sky. But if I'm not emotionally savvy, if I'm not able to recognize, oh gosh, I'm feeling really inadequate right now, I hate that feeling, but it will pass. If I can't do that, one of the ways I can try to manage it is I can just make somebody else feel inadequate. I'll make somebody else feel inferior or stupid or worthless. And every time I am giving that away to somebody else, I'm just perpetuating the river of cruelty. John Gottman, in his book, Raising an Emotionally Healthy Child, talks about the best time to teach kids about emotions, mad, sad, glad, and afraid, is between the ages of 3 and 5. 3 and 5 kids are wired, they are electric with intense emotional energy. And between 3 and 5, if they have a mentor, if they have somebody who's emotionally mature, teaching them, oh, that's just mad. Oh, that's your body being sad. Oh, that's just a fear. We have that when we're afraid something bad might happen. That's our body communicating with us. If we don't have anybody mentoring us about that, then we're left to our own devices at learning how to handle our emotional experiences, and that's never a good recipe. We cannot learn to be emotionally mature inside the river of cruelty. We need somebody to guide us, to coach us, to help us, to mentor us, to teach us. So inside of our group rooms, we have people, participants coming in there who have never had anyone mentor them about how to manage their emotional selves. And so one of their strategies, so common inside of the river of cruelty, is to give those feelings away. I never want to be weak again, so here, you be weak. I never want to be afraid again, so here, you be afraid. We give it away, we hand it off, and the river of cruelty flows.